I'm testing, God, whatever we are, 43 episodes in, and I've
Pretty
somehow,
much two.
yeah, well, I've somehow found a way to test yet another recording setup. So
What you got going on now?
We'll see how this goes. I'm using the Zoom H6 with my deity mic, which I've never done before.
I don't know how boring this is, but I just saw there's a Zoom H1 XLR for $128 with 32-bit float.
Wait, it's a cable?
No,
it's a
Zoom H1. It's a Zoom H1 recorder that has an XLR input, and it's $120 and has 32-bit float.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
Which is kind of sick. It is kind of
H1
cool.
means that it just has one input. It's like a single...
You know how yours is yeah, I think so. Well,
Gotcha.
I don't know, because yours is an H6. Does it have 6 inputs?
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Wow. Deductive reasoning.
Who would need 6 inputs? I guess people with 6 friends.
Yeah. I'm trying to get there.
There's only room at this production house for a Zoom H1.
Mine was more of an aspirational purchase.
I moved to New York City, bought a Zoom H6.
I see people on the street and I say, hey, I have an H6 with 5 free inputs on it. And then they say, cool. And then they walk away.
Dang.
So
and then you're like, well, at least I got him saying cool, because you have your Zoom H6 in your backpack and you're recording everyone that walks by.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you pull out a notebook and it just has a checkbox with the numbers 1 through 6, and now there's 2 checks on 1 and 2.
Wait, why is there 2?
Because of you.
Who's the second one?
The guy that you just recorded.
Oh, but he didn't plug into the input. He just
no,
said
but
cool.
You were recording him with another.
Oh, okay. See,
as he walks away, you clip one of those Rode Go mics to
him. Yeah, no. See, that's not a full checkbox for me. Like that was a missed opportunity. The checkbox would be like, I want to be one of the inputs. So you plug them into an XLR, they get a mic, and then they start walking with you as you try to get people to join until you eventually have a full octopus that's missing 2 legs of a podcast.
Until you need a Zoom H20.
Yeah.
That's such an insane idea for a podcast episode. You find a stranger, you clip a Rode Go mic, and then so you can only hear what they're saying to other people, and then you are like 30 feet away listening and replying to whatever they say.
Oh my God. And they don't even know you've done it. You just like secretly attached it to them.
Only one of you know you're recording a podcast.
Oh my gosh. Some of those episodes would be so incredibly interesting, and some of them would just be so dumb. If someone clicked it on me,
they're like ordering coffee or something. Oh yeah, you go.
Yeah, if someone clipped that on me, they would get 12 words in the whole day.
Extra large Americano quad shot.
Iced Americano, please. Thank you. There's 5 words already.
Wow, that would be kind of hard. You would be a hard subject. You gotta find. We gotta find that guy that Jake and I unnecessary detail. Bailey was also there, but
unnecessary detail, Bailey.
But we were waiting at a subway station, and this guy. I probably told this.
Oh,
like a year ago, over a year ago. But this guy, was just walking by, just like NPC New York guy. So much goes on, and we were sitting on this bench in the subway station underground, and the guy goes up and he goes dee 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 dee, and then he like dove underneath the bench we were all sitting on.
Belly dive slide under the bench,
like under our feet. And we were like, all right. And so and then I clipped a road go to him and had a secret conversation with him for the next 3 days. And he's the freak.
That was my favorite episode by far. That one was so good when it was clipped to that guy.
That was a good one.
That or another great candidate would be, I don't know if I told this story or not, but we haven't podcasted in a year, so we can just repeat all of our stories.
That would be so hilarious if we had a script of all the old episodes and we just tried to see if anyone would notice.
Go through them again. Yeah, but
it's like the remaster.
Totally. It just would be slightly better audio quality and no video, I guess. Maybe it wouldn't even be better audio quality.
I don't know if it'd be better audio quality.
But the other good candidate would be Shaffer and I think we had just finished eating pizza in Brooklyn and we were waiting for the bus, and it was like super foggy out this day, like super, like low hanging fog, kind of spooky looking around. And this guy walks past us as we're just sitting there talking to each other and looks at us and goes, "You guys like the fog? Pretty cool, huh?"
He goes, "That's like pretty spooky, huh?"
Pretty spooky, huh? We're like, yeah.
And we were like, what about us is giving off like we are loving this fog?
Yeah. And he kind of like lingered for a second too. Like he
did. He was waiting.
He was like, "You guys liking the fog?" And we're like, yeah. He was like, "Pretty spooky, huh?" And something about it was just off, because
it was a core man. It was like, it was kind of like one of those moments where you feel like everyone's acting.
Yeah, it felt like a Truman Show moment for sure, especially because of the amount of times that you and I have hung out in the fog and talked about how spooky it is.
That's true. That is something that we've talked about regularly. It kind of, what if he clipped a road video mic to us?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's recording that whole time and that was his like pop in moment to prompt some extra interesting.
He clips the microphone. He goes, because he knows us, and he goes, "What do you guys think of the fog? Pretty spooky, huh?" And he's waiting for us to start talking about how weird of an interaction that is. And then he hits record. And then that conversation is somewhere out there.
Man, I hope so. Let us know if you've heard the Spooky Fog Secret Podcast episode.
It's not entirely ethical, but I know there's like a podcast. This podcast is fine, but there's this podcast where a guy goes to like thrift stores and stuff and tries to find like old like DV tapes or like audio tapes that people recorded, and he tries to like piece together what was happening or who they were or whatever. It's like found tapes or something. Whoa. So that's like a kind of a fun, like that's like fun. But then my new idea is you just clip microphones to random people, record them all day, and upload it without consent.
Yeah, nothing could go wrong. Definitely not.
Yeah. And then okay. Yeah, that's all.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning back into H6 audio pod chat.
Yep. Friends with the H2 podcast. That's awesome. If I'm editing this, I'm putting a laugh track in after I say that.
Oh man. Well, how's your week been, Shafe? You got any notable stories?
I have a bunch of off-pod stories.
Okay.
As you know, classic Jake and Shape just log in to say we have secrets. I got some off-pod stories. Let me think. That's pretty much all I've done this week. It's only it's Thursday already. Fuck. I thought it was Tuesday.
Dang.
I got a bike race coming up.
Oh yeah, you've been training?
Kinda. I have been training, but I've also been eating the most amount of gummy snacks I've ever had in my life. And that's like a lot, because you've seen me in dark gummy days. Like when we were like actually traveling the world like this podcast says we do. I was like a sommelier of foreign gummy snacks.
Yeah, I mean gummy snacks.
So that's pretty much all I got.
Gummy snacks are basically training food. Like I feel like all these super athletes eat those goo gels and stuff like that. Those are just gummy bears with better branding.
Right.
They're just
right. Yeah.
It's just sugar blobs to give you some glucose for your run. So
right. It says electrolytes, but really it's just high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you're in great shape. I'll put my money on you.
Yeah, so I'll update next week, because by next week I'll have done the race. That's crazy to think about.
Man. I feel like
that's literally all.
I feel like you've been doing a great job of like experimenting formats lately. Like you've done some GoPro vlogs on your mountain bike while you're training. You've done some short form stuff. You've repurposed stuff.
Yeah. I just let me tell you, dude. That's good. Yeah. You got me now, because I am starting to get pretty affected by this whole my videos don't get views thing. I'm over it, dude. I'm over putting 4 months into a video and getting 5,000 views. And so, I'm like, I'm just going to do what everyone does, and I'm just going to be an absolute content HORE. I'm gonna post reels and vlogs, and I'm just gonna basically like sell out. So there's that.
Man, I'm trying to find a joke to make, but it's not coming. It's not coming together. Okay. Well, it doesn't feel like you're being a HORE. Maybe throw a W in there somewhere, but it doesn't. It doesn't feel like.
Oh,
I couldn't tell if you're joking, spelling it with an H. Because it's kind of hilarious either way, but
I can't spell balls. I can't spell WHORE.
Oh my gosh. Dude, the balls misspelling is so funny. For anyone that doesn't know, Shaffer's masterpiece of a video that he's been talking about starting this series for months and months. In the first 5 seconds of it, the word balls is spelled BALS.
Oh my goodness, dude. I can't spell anything. I can't spell anything lightly inappropriate correctly.
That's good. You've been
dude.
You've been protecting your eyes from filth, so it makes sense that you can't.
That's true. I've never seen those words spelled out on a pin. Yeah, I've never seen them.
Yeah.
God damn, dude. Okay.
So anyway,
All that to say, making reels. Can't
all
spell.
that to say,
Life's
nice.
going great.
Sick.
You can't get no views.
Well, I'll get my digital high five out of the way because your music bed ad with the Play-Doh was like my favorite ad I've ever seen anyone do, and you've done a bunch of really creative ads. But dude, I lost it at the stupid AI spam call made me burn my bacon. I was laughing so hard.
Dude,
at that.
You want to know the best part of that? Let's just say version 1 didn't get approved because version 1 had song as the spam call song. And so he goes, listen to this song that's good for your videos, and he goes, and I almost got away with it. And our music bed contact was like, one quick question, what is that song? And I was like, it's song.
Is that song on? Wait.
It's on music bed.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, kind of a conflict of interest. And so then I tried to use his Epidemic song, which is the but then I couldn't use that one either because I guess I don't know why. I do know why, but
for legal purposes, this was all a joke. None of it's real. This was a purely fictional story,
right?
And none of it actually happened.
Yeah, nothing like that happened.
Yeah.
All right, wait, no, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. I laughed so hard at the burning bacon thing. And don't burn your bacon, use music bed was just like such a perfect title screen for that.
Well, now I'm like, I was like, I'm going to have every music bed ad I do end with don't burn your bacon, use music bed. And then my end goal is to get that as on the home page of their website.
Oh, yeah. That would be sick.
And people are going to go, what? This makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, the way you then repurposed the like Play-Doh shots and all of that to make a short was so smart because you like didn't make it an ad in your reels and short that you made, and just I don't know. I was stoked to see it. It was cool seeing you make some. It was cool seeing you whore yourself out to the short form world.
I don't know, man. Like the short form thing, I just don't think there's a way to do that and not have it feel gross. Because, like you said, I've been kind of doing some experimenting. So one of the reels I posted, or the shorts or whatever, was like a snippet from a video. And that one just didn't have enough context to do well, And then the next one I posted was also an experiment, and it was like, can you distinguish between like which shot is real 16 mil and which is film emulation? And that one did really well because I've been posting these on my like kind of other account that doesn't have many followers, and that one like outperformed my main account, because it was just like engaging or whatever. And then this one, which is kind of like an experiment. It's kind of silly, dumb, no context or whatever. And I don't know. None of them, one of them did really well, but none of them felt good,
Well, they felt good to watch.
That's good.
If that means anything. But yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but yeah, they felt good to watch. And I know for a lot of people, or even for me, there's so much to keep up with that sometimes I feel like relieved when I see a short or something from someone whose work I really like, just as that reminder to be like, oh man, I gotta go catch up on their stuff, so
yeah, I kind of understand like and I think that was like the same line of thinking that really got me to HORE myself out. It's like it's not fun making that stuff, but also like it's mildly self-sabotage to not do it, because the whole purpose of it is to hopefully get people to watch the thing you actually care about, you know?
Yeah,
so
totally.
and I think also like it's nice that I have that other Instagram page to kind of experiment with, because I wouldn't really want any of those on my main, because my main Instagram feels kind of personal. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, well,
Nice.
I was, because last time we talked, you said you were going to post a reel, and then I don't know why, but Instagram didn't show it to me. So then I was like, dang, you didn't do it. But then I went back and looked, and I saw you did. So my digital high five goes to hitting that reel upload button. It looks like it like crushed too.
Yeah, it crushed, and it was like the easiest thing I've ever made, because it was,
of course,
exactly what we're just talking about. It was like an easy way to promote a video that I really care about that performed horribly.
Well, that's what's so stupid is like that video is so awesome. It's not even that much longer than the reel.
I know, yeah.
And it's just like where it's posted and how it's posted is the difference between it bombing and it like crushing. And I hate that.
Yeah, because that's true. I'm sure a big part of it is because it's so short. Maybe not even a big part of it, but because it's so short, YouTube doesn't tend to love really short videos. But sometimes it does.
It's like, why?
I know.
Why can't they just...
I know. I feel like my favorite format to watch is still like a 4 to 6 minute video that has a lot of effort in it. But
it seems like the only thing that does... It seems like the only thing that's really doing well right now is like video essays and like video, like long ass video essays. And they're just like, because people have to keep up with making many, many video essays. No one's really an expert on anything. So they're not even video essays. They're just vibe checks. It's like, it's like some random video game guy's vibe check on AI is like, that's like the only thing that's doing well right now. It's so dumb.
Yeah, totally. Just
the Minecraft movie bad. The Minecraft movie actually good. And they're just like dudes with opinions. Yeah. And then all the cool stuff doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I'm going crazy.
Yeah, but it was still a good reminder for me of like, okay, I have the ability to promote my own work that I care about, like you just said, and it doesn't have to take a whole bunch of time and energy, because usually for me, I'm like, I don't want to focus on short form stuff. I don't want to waste my energy on it when I care about long form stuff. But that reel I did was just like a setup versus the shot reel, and it took me an hour total to like, edit, export, upload, post, all of that. And it was like, okay, I can probably handle doing this every once in a while.
Yeah, I know. Well, the reel that I repurposed for the music from the music bed ad footage, like I just, sorry, I'm just laughing about how I just exposed private email information.
We can censor
how have I made it this far?
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that on your public YouTube channel. Okay, I'll say it on my public podcast instead. Hey, the podcast isn't sponsored, so.
Exactly. That little thing at the bottom of the email that says like whatever, like I don't remember what it says. Who cares?
Confidential privileged information or something. Yeah,
exactly.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's basically just
we'll obscure it in the edit and make this extra intriguing.
Right. Anyway, I totally lost my train of thought because I was like, why did Jake say that? I was like, oh yeah, I know why Jake said. Why did Jake say this isn't, none of that happened?
Yeah.
But oh yeah, I remember what I was saying. All that reel that I made that was like repurposing the music bed ad footage. I just took all the shots I liked and put them in a vertical timeline, and I was like, I wonder if I could make this make sense without it being an ad. And then it took like probably 20 minutes total. And I was like, dang, I wonder how much awesome footage I have that could just be repurposed for bullshit junk food short form that does no one any good.
Totally. Yeah, totally. I've been on that same train of thought recently because I love so much making montages and of like my favorite shots, but I do that once a year at the end of the year. So I was like, man, why don't I just do little micro versions of that every once in a while?
I know, and there's this weird part of my brain that's like, well, whatever you upload to Instagram has to be like current, like it has to have happened recently. And I don't. It's not even. That's not true. You don't have to do that.
I totally I don't know why
another
that
reel I posted on my main
but
was like footage from my last big summer project. It was all super old, and that was like that performed super well too. So
yeah, dude, I have that same thought of like, oh, I can't just be repurposing old stuff. But yeah, I know people who are like full-time big dog influencers that make a living, and they'll just like cycle and cycle and cycle the same stuff from years ago. And it still keeps crushing.
Yeah, like a raw repost of like the same.
Yeah, literally. Same photos.
Yeah.
They'll just like rearrange them in a carousel or something. Or so.
Yeah.
And I also had the thought recently of like, I don't think it's fair to say that it does no one any good. What are you smirking at? What are you smirking at?
No, I just was thinking about how dumb I am. But
so
sorry. Saying it doesn't do anyone any good.
No, you're good. Yeah, I had the thought recently, and I'm actually, I'm cooking on an idea of turning this into a video. So maybe I shouldn't say anything.
Jake, the master of logging onto the podcast, said like I was gonna say something, but I
was
can't.
gonna say something. It was brilliant, but no, I don't think it's necessarily fair to say that short form is just always junk food. You know, it certainly largely is, and maybe comes down to how it's controlled and pitched by the overlords, the tech overlords. But like, there's certainly nothing inherently wrong with extremely short artwork, you know? Like,
Yeah.
we got haikus, we got poems. You know, there's nothing inherently wrong about short artwork. It's more so like the mechanism of like how we're trained and like, trained to just rapidly consume high volumes of it. But
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like saying like a movie poster isn't worth making because it just, you know, like it's like,
but even something standalone, like a movie poster obviously serves a purpose of promoting a movie. But I mean, even something standalone, like I've saved a few reels that genuinely I like think about randomly in my life and that have impacted me. And to be fair, one of them is just because it's a poem and it's a really beautiful poem with a cool background. But like, there's for sure ways, I think, to make it meaningful.
I think you're right.
But
yeah,
it's
I
rare.
think you're right.
It's rare.
I know that's the thing. And like, I think that it's the two things that are like most rare are one, like making short form in a way that does like have value beyond junk food, and two, making that content and having it get shown to people.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the platform is just like, is this just marketing bullshit? Everyone should see this. Is this meaningful artwork? Suppress it.
It's almost like if you went into an art museum and there was a painting And then next to the painting, there was a TV playing CNN or Fox News. And then next to it, there was an ad for Coca-Cola. And then next to it, there was a preacher, like a street preacher. And then next to it, there was another piece of art. And it's just like, well, what are we doing here? There's so much going on in this museum, which actually kind of sounds like a sick art piece. If someone did that in a gallery, that'd be kind of dope.
I know it does. But then a guy named Instagram comes in and kills the preacher, kills the... and then he just leaves the Coke ad and the CNN news.
He moves the Coke ad in front of the painting because it's like, oh, this is wasted space, and puts a second Coke ad in front of the painting.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Also, I just wanted to rewind because you said short works of art and you said poetry and you said all that. And I really wanted to say paintings made by toddlers, but I missed it because they're short.
Because the toddlers are short?
Yep. Shaffer, insert laugh track.
Nice one. Nice.
Thank you. I almost could have just let that go, you know?
No, it was worth it. We needed that. Oh man.
This is why the stupid Friends with Benedicts audience is so... I mean, you're great, but you're so... I mean, it's just like, that's the thing that lasts, dude. Is I'll make the stupid paintings by toddlers joke, and no one actually laughs at it. But 30 episodes from now, someone will comment, paintings with toddlers. Just like the Kung Fu Panda shit. Never let me live down my terrible jokes.
Man. Yeah, let's get some HORE in the comments for years to come.
I have had people going back in old videos of mine just saying BALS.
Oh, that's beautiful. Dude, speaking of museums though, art museums, I have a confession. I have a confession to make.
Okay.
This is some deep lore, and I kind of don't even want to bring it up.
Kind of an abstract setup, but I'm ready. Speaking of art exhibits, I have a confession.
A number of years ago, I had the opportunity to go to a Smithsonian museum with my friend Shaffer. And
you're trying to work me up.
I vehemently turned him down. And
that's a good word for it, actually.
We had been traveling a whole bunch.
Here's the excuses.
And I just was in no mood to go to a Smithsonian museum that day. And that has transpired a long history of me being pinned as the guy who hates museums. And I can't live it down. It doesn't matter what I do.
Can I tell my side of the story?
Sure.
Or
go
do you?
ahead.
Okay,
Go
well,
ahead.
my side of the story.
I've got a point eventually, but yeah, tell your side.
Okay. Don't forget your direction because yes, we had been traveling, true, but we had like 2 days before we had our like next flight, and so we were in Washington D.C. for 2 days, and like my thought, and we were like probably 30-minute drive from the Smithsonian, and we had a rental car. And my thought is, what's more relaxing than walking around a museum, learning a little, getting the acai bowl, drinking a coffee, learning about how Amelia Earhart was the greatest woman pilot ever, and yet she got so lost no one ever found her again. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. And then Jake's like, I think it would be better to just stay in the hotel. And we spent 2 days. I'm just texting Jake for 2 days, like, pretty good weather for the Smithsonian. And he's like, I'm tired. And then, but could we drive 15 minutes to go to Chipotle? Of course we can. Easy.
Yeah. And
okay, that's my side story.
I'm just saying that drive to Chipotle ended up us having one of the most memorable experiences
That's also
of
true.
my life.
That's also true. That's also true. That is true. We did have the greatest Chipotle experience ever. That's a good point. But yeah, the only conclusion I could deduct is that Jake hates art museums.
Yeah. Well, listen, the conclusion that I hate museums is incorrect, but your point is valid, and it for sure would have been better to go to the museum. I don't know what got into me. I was jet lagged. I wasn't thinking straight. I convinced myself I had work to do, and I definitely didn't.
I'm gonna need this point, dude, because I've heard this before.
The point is, I recently learned there's an exhibit at the Washington, D.C. Smithsonian Air and Space Museum that I would have died to see. And I recently learned that it's there. And now it's my biggest regret not going. Have you heard of a guy named Lawn Chair Larry?
Oh, yes,
dude. So for anyone
I
who
have
doesn't
actually.
know, Lawn Chair Larry is an absolute legend out of Long Beach, California, or San Pedro, somewhere near Long Beach. This guy in like the 80s was just living up his summer, didn't know what to do with his time, so he strapped like 42 weather balloons full of helium to a lawn chair. He strapped a bunch of jugs of water to the chair as like ballasts, and then he brought a BB gun with him and a radio. And this dude just took off from his backyard with weather balloons and a BB gun and flew through the skies. And apparently when they cut the first ropes and he started taking off, he took off so fast that it just broke the last rope. Like a couple of the ropes cut free, and he launched so fast into the air that it broke the last rope.
Oh my God.
Jolted him. He lost his sunglasses when it jolted him. So it started off with him just like rocket propelling into the sky, losing his sunglasses. And then while he's in flight, he was getting really, really high up. He saw an airplane beneath him and shot a couple of balloons to maintain his altitude, and then at some point ended up dropping his BB gun. So he's in the sky with no BB gun, no way to control his lawn chair aircraft. And so basically he was just completely out of control, ended up eventually coming down somewhere outside of Long Beach. And by that point, air traffic control was talking to him on the radio and was like, "What the heck are you doing?" And he's like, "I don't know, sorry." They were like, "What airport did you take off from?" And he just told them his address, and they were like,
"My backyard."
"What airport is that?" And he was like, "Oh, it's my backyard." And anyway, when he was descending, he was going to descend into a neighborhood, and thankfully, like, whoever, the authorities were keeping track of where he was coming, so they were able to shut down power lines because he crashed into a power line. It was just dangling from a power line in this neighborhood. But supposedly the whole neighborhood like came to see this guy coming down into their neighborhood, and everyone was like cheering for him, and he was giving balloons to kids, and like he let this one guy keep the lawn chair, and that one guy kept the lawn chair for like his whole life because he cherished that memory. And then he eventually donated it to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. I would give anything to go to that Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. just to see lawn chair
Dude, you're
Larry's.
5 years late to the party. That is so awesome. I feel like with just the way internet and algorithms are affecting people's mental states and well-beings, you're gonna hear stories like that a whole lot more. People are just gonna snap and be like, "That's it, I'm out."
Seriously.
That is so crazy. It's like, all right, this will probably be fine so long as I have my BB. Oh, there goes the BB gun. At least I have my sunglass. Well, oh, there goes my sunglass.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, literally.
Legend,
supposedly his wife was kind of like his air traffic controller. And as soon as he launched so fast and lost his sunglasses, she was like, nope, come back. And he was just like, no way, I put this much time into it. We're doing it. Only to then just get even worse. But yeah, dude.
Dude, that's awesome. I wonder, it probably got pretty cold up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it must
famously
have been.
Colder the higher you go.
Yeah. Man. Lawn chair Larry. Such a legend, dude.
Dang, one of those little paths on the road called life we could have taken, but
seriously.
But somebody was tired.
Man, I could have seen the lawn chair.
I know.
I guess there's a
probably someday we'll wind up back in. Dude, it's always like I'm like, well, too bad Jake and I will never be in Washington D.C. together, but. Almost guaranteed we will, because I also didn't think we were going to be in Austin, Texas together, and there we were.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, you never know.
There'll be another chance. Another chance.
I'm sure there will be. We've already suspected we weren't going to be traveling the world together ever again, and somehow we still ended up doing it. So
I know. Now I'm like really sure we're not going to be traveling the world.
Yeah, either that or we have to just take it into our own hands instead of just.
Well, yeah, not in the same circumstances anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Mysterious backshadowing. Okay, I have 2 questions for you. You get to pick your own adventure.
Oh, okay.
Unless you have any more thoughts on Lawn Chair Larry and the Smithsonian.
I don't think so. I don't want to keep feeling these deep-seated regrets. So let's move on.
Okay, sweet. Well, we're 44 minutes into the byproduct of you asking me how my week was. So question one. So question one is either how is your week, or alternatively, do you want to tell the Chipotle story from Washington D.C.?
Oh man, I would love to tell the Chipotle story, and. Because I don't even know what I did this week.
I know it's hard. It's like hard. When you asked me that, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, totally. My short-term memory has never been good, but I've just been dying to tell the Chipotle kid story. So
hit me.
So yeah, after I turned down the Smithsonian and we go to Chipotle for lunch. We get to Chipotle, and I don't know how to paint a picture of the guy who was taking the orders, but the guy taking orders was picture your stoner friend in high school who is like just really smiley but always so high, but really smiley.
He's kind of like your stoner friend from high school, like had a kid with Gonzo the Great.
Yeah. Yeah, like super curly hair. Doesn't matter. I order my Chipotle, and then I get to the end and I say, "Oh, cool. Could I get some chips with that too?" And he looks at me and goes, "Yeah. The thing with the chips is we don't have that many left." And I see behind him like 3 bags of chips on the shelf. And I was like, oh, yeah, I see that. So can I have a bag? And he goes, yeah, we don't really have that many left. And so I was just like, okay, so like, can I have them or not? And he just again says, well,
And the whole time he's got like the biggest smile ever.
Yeah, he's smiling so big.
Like he sounds very concerned. He sounds really concerned about the chips, but his smile is still there.
Yeah, and his coworker is just like side-eyeing him like, what is this kid doing? And maybe you remember them better than me, but the way I remember it is I eventually was like, okay, that's fine. Just the burrito's fine, whatever. And then so I go and start checking out, and I hear Shaffer ordering next to me, and Shaffer goes, can I get a side of chips with that? And he goes, yeah, and grabs some chips and hands them to Shaffer. And I looked at him, I was like, I thought you didn't have that many left.
It was so weird. Because that I just remember it like I heard this whole thing going on, but I was just like, I don't know, I do want them. And so I just ordered it. He didn't flinch. He was like, yep.
No. So I still
this guy just did not want you to have chips.
I don't know if he was messing with me. I don't know if he was like, if he knew you were going to order chips and he wanted to save the other bags for him and his buddies. I don't know what it was, but it was it was a standout.
It was just a mystery that's prevailed like forever.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
So that kid was awesome.
I love the chips kid.
That's the Chipotle story.
Yep. And
aren't you guys glad we're back?
Yeah, good thing you stuck around for 49 minutes to get that story. I thought I had a story from my week earlier, but
you live in the most exciting city in the world.
Nothing happens in this town. I didn't do anything. Oh.
Oh, nope, didn't do that. We got something happened this week.
What day is it?
It's Thursday. That's okay, because when you asked me, I go, it's only Tuesday, and then I looked and it was Thursday already, so.
Oh, I know what story I was going to tell. This was more like 2 weeks ago. This was a while ago, but after
so nothing happened this week.
Well, no, a lot happened this week, but there's a better story from 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
but,
all right.
Yeah, I feel like this week I was catching up on work because a whole bunch happened the last 2 weeks before that. So it was a pretty heavy editing planning week for me.
Fair enough.
I finished editing a video that I filmed in Mexico City, and I made some plans for some summer videos I'm going to be working on. So
okay, fair enough.
Desk week, but yeah, after Creator Camp Film Fest, Bartholomew Joyce of Mandelbro had a great American tour, so I ended up hosting his tour manager, who, this isn't even the story, but and it ended up being like the best hang ever. This guy was awesome. And so I had
the best hang ever.
Yeah,
like no one's.
Well,
no one's no one's a better hang. Anyway, carry on. I'll just slot that away.
So anyway, I had a relatively good time with this tour.
I've had better.
Yeah, it was a memorable hang, but not the best.
Right.
Not top tier.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the story. The story is
So
The
why did you
story's
tell
not
me,
even
man? I'm reading
This guy
between the
was-
lines here.
This guy was such a good hang. I was like,
He did the
"Man."
dishes.
Yeah, I was like, you should come here more often. And he didn't Hulk smash any of my coffee mugs into the sink.
Shoot.
He didn't steal my apartment as a YouTube backdrop and make the internet think that it was actually his apartment.
Dang it.
But anyway, the actual story.
He didn't complain about the temperature of the shower water every 5 seconds.
Didn't complain about the temperature of the shower water. He wasn't concerned that he was going to get sick because it was so hot outside.
Right? He sounds awesome.
He
Okay,
bought me
sorry.
a David Bowie album as a parting gift.
Ah,
He made me breakfast 2 mornings.
oh my god.
Crazy. Okay, the story. The story that has nothing to do with the tour manager that stayed at my house is that Bart and his band Mandelbro was on tour, and they were getting ready to play their show in Manhattan, and he realized they didn't have merch, so he ordered some prints from a shop in Brooklyn and asked if I could go pick up the prints from the shop in Brooklyn before I went over to the show. So anyway, I go to this print shop to pick up Bart's prints, and it's like just like super cool guy. He's wrapping up the prints as I'm there. So he's like, yeah, just hang out for a bit while I finish these. And so I'm hanging out, and I turn around and see a bunch of skate decks up on his shelf. And so I asked him like, oh, do you do prints on skate decks or something? He's like, oh no, I run my own skate brand called Nova. I was like, dang, that's pretty sick. And then I keep hanging, and I go over to his desk and see he has a fingerboard on his desk. So I start asking him about fingerboarding. He's like, oh yeah, I just started making fingerboards too. And then so not only does he have a skate brand, he also has a fingerboard brand. And then I kept talking to him.
And he's like, we're looking for riders.
Oh man, I wish. That would be a sick conclusion to the
No,
story.
and then he goes, yeah, I've been looking for riders. I met this one guy. He's really, 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 really sick. He's the tour manager for this band, Mandelbro. Okay, sorry.
No, there's really no moral to the story other than it was a fun rabbit hole of going to pick up prints and then stumbling on this guy's skate brand who makes cool videos and then also makes fingerboards.
It's weird how
So-
much overlap there is between screen printing and fingerboarding. That's the second screen printing fingerboarding guy
Oh,
that
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
There's one in
whoa,
Denver
that is-
too.
Yeah. Huh. Wow. Never thought about that. So anyway,
Funny the way it is.
that's my riveting story of what happened to me this 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh my god.
Man.
Okay. I'm back online. For the audio listener, which is that's all of you, my microphone turned off, but I'm back.
Thank goodness. How's everyone liking audio only? Pretty sick, huh?
How's everyone doing? We should ask.
Yeah, it's about
they
time
can't-
we turn
they
the
can't
mic
see
on the audience. They never get the spotlight.
Yeah. Let's do audience Q&A. What do you want to know, Jake? This is good for comment engagement.
Um,
Who would you put a microphone on?
yeah. Who'd you put a mic on for the
The Secret Pod.
I was gonna call it the assault podcast, but that's a bit aggressive.
That's The Assault Podcast by Jake Frew.
Whoa, don't put my name on it. This is your podcast. That's your idea.
Assaulting listeners with Jake Frew.
Audio assault.
Still somehow doesn't sound that good to do to someone. Anonymous assault with Jake Frew.
You got a pick of the week for us?
Not really.
All right. Oh, it's my time to shine. Guest star appearance.
Oh, you have your own pick of the week?
Yeah.
Hit me.
God, I've been waiting for this day. Don't blow it, Jake. Guest pick of the week goes to, it's the newest music video from Turnstile called Look Out For Me. Super, super cool. Basically just really cool visuals and super like refreshing visuals for a music video.
Sick. I just realized how hard this job is for you because I give my pick of the week and then you probably haven't seen it and then you just go, nice.
Nice. Sounds sick. I got to check it out.
I have to check it out.
Yeah. I think that's all I ever say to the pick of the week. But yeah, also
but I will check it out.
They dropped a official film trailer for, it's called Turnstile Never Enough. They say it's going to be a 14-song visual album. I think it's going to be real sick based on the trailer because, I mean, I'm assuming visual album just means they're, releasing a whole album soon that
there's a video,
has videos attached.
Yeah.
But man, the trailer, again, just like such inspiring, unique, refreshing visuals. So.
Oh, that's sick.
I'll
have to check it out.
Give it a watch. Man.
Sick. Nice. I just noticed no one else is going to be able to see this, but look how I can make myself look like I'm really angry.
Man, I'm not even saying what happened. You're going to have to...
You're just going to have to imagine.
You're going to have to live in mystery as an audio only viewer. But switch to the video version if you want to see what made Shaffer look angry.
Yeah, good luck finding it.
You got any apologies?
Sorry, sorry to Music Bed that I divulged confidential information. Dude, Music Bed stuck on me like white on rice. I don't even need a video to do good. They just like me, so I can just do whatever I want. No consequence to my actions.
Totally.
Actually, yeah. Well, actually, I actually happen to know that's not true. Sorry for that as well. Sorry for outing Music Bed over and over and over on this episode. Because I love them. And I need them. Sorry for all my bad jokes that I had to put laugh tracks in for. Sorry I did not pick of the week. Sorry I'm not as good of a roommate as Vandelbo's Bros tour manager. Sorry, I'm insecure and jealous.
Oh no, he's spiraling.
Sorry, I can't spell.
He's spiraling.
Sorry, I'm a
Apologies.
HORE on Instagram.
Portion is canceled. We can't live through another
and that's all.
spiral.
That's all.
Everyone,
that's all I got.
Download your favorite Shaffer videos quick. He's about to go dark on
and
all of them.
re-upload it because I'm deleting them all.
Yeah. Oh man. I'm sorry for making you spiral by asking for the apologies portion.
And saying that you had a good time with someone that's not me.
I'm sorry that I had a good hang with the tour manager. It it would never it would never come close to a tour hang with my best business partner in the world.
Hear that, Mandelbrot's tour manager?
I'm so sorry I'm eternally sorry until the day I die that I didn't go to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. 4 years ago.
Answer me a question. Answer honestly.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm very serious.
Oh, okay.
Would you have gone to the Smithsonian with Mandelbrot's tour manager?
Oh man, we're past an hour. That's crazy. I guess there's only one thing left to say. We're gonna have to pick back up on this later.
Pick that up.
But thanks everyone for tuning in to Friends with Benedicts. Don't know why you're here, but we're glad to have you.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Amen.
Amen.